Hey guys, what is up? It is Lauren here, back with a new video. Welcome back. If you're new here, hello. So on my channel, I like to do these ranking videos after I've listened to a specific album, especially if I really like it. I just listened to Evermore, so now I'm gonna do a ranking for this album. Before we get into this ranking, if you have not watched my Evermore or Folklore reaction, make sure you do so. Those are both up on my channel, and then come back. At the end of this video, we will be discussing which Taylor Swift album I'm going to dive into next, so stay tuned for that. And while you're at it and you want to support this channel, go check out my Patreon. It's going to be in the description. Okay, let's get into this album. All around, I thought this album was extremely well put together. Fantastic album coming from Taylor Swift following Folklore. This is for sure my favorite so far on my Taylor Swift journey. I feel like the production is so tight and perfectly placed. The song selections are incredible. The songwriting is incredible. And you've got some of Taylor's best vocal performance on this album. And to be honest, I wish the album was just a little bit longer. So I did take the time out to watch her interview for this album with Zane Lowe. Great interview. If you haven't got the chance to watch that, it's about an hour long, but it's full of Easter eggs, and she talks about the album and the making of this album, and just an all-around great watch. Also, if you haven't heard Evermore, I love how she talked about in that interview artists and controlling their art and controlling what they put out and having complete ownership of it. You'll have a few artists that will come out and talk about things like that, but she's very prominent, and it's something that I've heard throughout Folklore and Evermore, and it's just amazing that she's speaking about this. I feel like artists should 100% own their work and have creative control over what they put out into the world. And I love how she talks about Evermore kind of being this closure, and there's a lot of storytelling, a lot of conflict and resolution songs, and it's just an all-around great project about the ending of things, essentially. Something I learned while watching this interview as well is that Justin Vernon actually helped produce this album as well. He's got background vocal credits, obviously main vocal credits, drums, guitar, you name it. All right, let's get into this ranking real quick. Okay, so we've got 4 tracks down here that I don't really know. I've never heard these tracks. We're just gonna go in order here. We're gonna start with Willow. Willow was the single of the album, I believe. It just has a beautiful melody, awesome guitar melodies, and it's an amazing track all around. I'm gonna be putting Willow in the amazing tier. I don't think it's a perfect song, but I think it's very close. It's kind of on par with the one for me. Next is Champagne Problems. This song was actually another song written with Joe, Taylor's ex-boyfriend, and it's essentially about 2 lovers having an idea for the same night and they being completely opposite ends of each other, a proposal and a breakup. Sonically, the song isn't one of my favorites. I do like it, but I just don't think that it's up there for others as it is for me, but I do think it's still a great track. And I know that's some people's favorite, and that is okay to have different tastes to me. Next up, we've got Gold Rush. In my reaction, Gold Rush immediately struck me as one of my favorites. The switch up after the intro on her soft vocals that she had, jumping into this steady drum beat. And I know this is the only song produced by Jack Antonoff, and I just love the production on this. There's a great tempo, the Eagles reference, a callback to Folklore. It's kind of about jealousy and envy, and a great storytelling track, honestly. We're gonna put Gold Rush at amazing as well. Next up, we've got 'Tis the Damn Season. Honestly, not one of my favorite tracks. Love the guitar riffs, and I know that this is kind of like a 2-part story teaming up with Dorothea from 2 different perspectives, which is great, but just sonically, it's just not one of my favorites, but I do still think it's a good song, so I'm definitely gonna be putting this at good but not great. Tolerated. I personally think it is top 3 on this album, so we'll go ahead and automatically put this at a perfect song. Beautiful lyrics about not being loved and appreciated. Her vocals are absolutely stunning, and I love the way that she sings Tolerated in the song. Is one of my favorite moments in the album. It's just, it's a fantastic track. All right, next up we've got Nobody No Crime. I think that this is her best storytelling track that I have personally heard. It is a murder mystery. I love murder mysteries, so to put this in a song is just so clever, and I absolutely love it. It's so imaginative, it's so creative, and honestly, I think it's a perfect song. It's it's a hit. It also gives me these country pop early 2000s sound to it, which I absolutely love. Next up, we've got Happiness. Okay, so when I did my reaction, Happiness was not one of my favorites. Honestly, I probably would have had it at skip before, but after listening to this song a couple times within context of the album, I think it's good. I think it's a good track, and I think it's some of her best vocals on this song. Same with the songwriting, honestly. The pacing is just a little bit too slow for me personally, but I still think it is very strong within the context of the entire album, and I can't imagine this song not being on this album. And I love her lower register in this song as well. So next up, we've got Dorothea, and this was the song that was the other half of the other perspective. And Dorothea is a cute song. I think Dorothea is a great track. I love the melodies in this song. I love how innocent it kind of sounds as well. Taylor is honestly the queen of melodies, I'm learning, and she's just got some catchy songs, and this is one of them. Next up, we have Coney Island. I feel indifferent about this song just because I don't necessarily enjoy Matt's voice that much. Not that it's not my speed, because I do have some national songs saved on my phone. It's more so in context with the song and in context with the album, it kind of threw me off a little bit, and it did have to grow me a little bit, but I still think that this song is a skip for me. And I know some people commented saying that it's their favorite, and I could see why it would be your favorite. For me, it's just not there. They do sound beautiful together. In my opinion, I think Taylor carried the song. Next up, we've got Ivy. Beautiful lyrics, beautiful acoustics, great song. Actually, it's more than great. We're gonna go and throw Ivy at amazing. This is one of my favorites for sure, one that I always go back to when I'm listening to the album. And again, I mean, melodies. Now we've got Cowboy Like Me. We don't need to even waste any time here. That's going into the perfect song tier for sure. This song was an instant classic in my eyes when I heard it, and I still listen to it almost every single day since I've done that reaction video. And it's just so potent. It's so sexy. It's got these bluesy melodies to it. It feels so inviting. It feels like a cold whiskey on the rocks in a cabin trip with your favorite people. And I know that the lyrics are a little bit indifferent to that, but the feeling of the song, it feels so good. And honestly, I don't think this is Taylor's best song that I've heard, but I think it is my favorite song that I've heard. I just love it so much. Like, so much. And if I was to play a song for someone to try to get them into Taylor Swift, or to more specifically try to get them into this album Evermore, I would 100% play Cowboy Like Me. It's that great that I feel like anyone would like it. It sounds so different from Taylor's radio stuff, and it fits this album like a glove. All right, next up, we've got Long Story Short. This song is so fun despite what she's singing about. The drums are amazing on this track, and the meaning is kind of similar to Mirrorball, but like also not really. I've just been reading up on the whole Kanye Kim situation. I remember it happening at the time, like live while it was going on, because I was a huge Kanye West fan, and some things have changed since then about my opinion on Kanye West, but that can be saved for another video. But like, to hear her tracks about this time period, and I'm getting into Reputation soon as well, and I know that that album is filled with material based on that time period, so I'm very excited to be listening to that. I just think all around it's a fantastic track. I think it's amazing, and that's where I'm gonna put it because I love the tempo, I love the drums, and the story aside, however she feels, it's just great songwriting. Next up, we've got Marjorie, a beautiful tear-jerking track from Taylor. So sad. I can't listen to this song without getting that lump in my throat that I mentioned from my previous video. So I don't necessarily skip it because it is a beautiful track and it fits within the album so well, just how Epiphany did. But I think Epiphany is a perfect song, but I think Marjorie is, I think it's just a great song. I love the background vocals from her grandmother. It's just an all-around tear-jerking track, and it's so vulnerable and so personal to Taylor. I couldn't even imagine starting to write a song about a loved one that was so close to you that you lost at a young age. Next up, we've got Closure. I've seen mixed opinions about this song, but honestly, I think this song is great. I think it's good. We're gonna put it at good today. But Closure, I love the chaoticness of it. It feels like wires in your brain, literally. And it feels like it's almost like that on purpose. And I just love a good dysfunctional track. And it's essentially like, if you want to just, you don't get down to what it's about closure and someone kind of reaching out to Taylor, whoever it may be, wanting closure. And she's basically like, fuck you, heal on your own, I'm good. And I love that. I love it. Next up, we've got Evermore. Evermore is a perfect track. I mean, don't even lie to yourself. I don't understand how someone could dislike this song. I really don't. Best song on the album. And I think, personally, my humble opinion is that this is Taylor Swift's best song that I've ever heard. Is it my favorite? No. I would probably have Cowboy Like Me above it. But this is her best overall song. The production is absolutely stellar. The songwriting, the piano chords, and then you've got the assist from Justin coming in and absolutely killing those vocals. And when he first comes on the track, it literally feels like God is handpicking me to have this experience. It is heaven sent. Absolutely killer of a track. So much emotion. I love it. Next up, we've got Right Where You Left Me. Melodies, again, I think this song is an amazing track for sure. She uses her voice as an instrument a lot on Folklore and also on Evermore as well. But I think on this track specifically, I love how she's writing the instrumental. And I just love the tempo of this song. Last one we got is It's Time to Go. Okay, the reason I'm putting It's Time to Go at a perfect song. On its own, is this a perfect song? Probably not. But within the context of the album and this being the final closer of the album, it gives so much body to this record that I enjoy so much. The ending of this, when she's like, it's time to go, and then you go, she killed it. And it honestly, it makes me very sad because I'm like, it's over. The album's over. We're done. We could either loop it right back to Willow or like we can just sit here for 30 minutes and think about where you went wrong in your entire life. So one of those, and I know that's probably not some people's favorite, but like the ending of that track completely, it just gets me every time. So this is my final ranking. And if you're new here, this is what we do. We put these songs into a tier list and then I reorganize them to essentially make a ranking. So we're gonna do that now. We have Coney Island as a skip, mid, nothing. And then we've got good but not great. I think I would keep these like this. I think 'Tis a Damn Season, Happiness, and then Closure is accurate for me. For my great category, I think I would do Marjorie. And then Champagne Problems, and then Dorothea. For my amazing category, I think Right Where You Left Me is the best song here. If we can get it over there. I think Right Where You Left Me is the best song here. Next, I'd probably go Ivy. Then Willow. Then Gold Rush. Then Long Story Short. For my perfect tier, we're going to go Evermore. Cowboy Like Me. Tolerate It. Nobody, No Crime, It's Time to Go. I think that this is very accurate for me and for my taste. Let me know how it differs from your taste and your opinions on this album. And let me know your favorite songs from this album. Give me your own personal ranking. All in all, a fantastic record. Miss Americana, like I mentioned, you guys will be on my Patreon by the time you're watching this video on YouTube. So make sure you guys go get that subscription and check that video out. There will definitely be more Taylor videos on Patreon coming soon. And the next Taylor Swift album that I'm going to be diving into that you guys voted for is Reputation. Stay tuned, stay locked in, turn on that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a video. And if you're thinking about subscribing, you're already here, you might as well stay for a while. Love you guys.